Alright, it's been a little bit since I took a look at Scam here on the channel, and since we got the pitch elementals in Timeless, there have been a lot of different brews. A lot of the things that I saw were either mainly mono black, were they were the beanstalk variants that were trying to get triggers off of um, off of both not grief, but solitude and those things. Um, and then there were things like Dimir Scam that went kind of a little bit under the radar, I think, in Timeless. But Dimir Scam is a very good archetype. There's a lot of good things for it, and we even get some new toys in Modern Horizons 3. One of the new ones is Psychic Frog for just a Dimir 2 mana. You get a 1/2 that draws a card when it deals combat damage, so that's not bad. It's not often that this thing gets all the way through, but you can discard a card to make it bigger and exile some cards from your graveyard to give it some evasion. So it's actually going to be pretty good at hitting the face, thankfully. So this is good for just keeping our hand full, especially when we're doing things like pitching Subtlety and Grief. But that's not the only thing that this deck can do. Stalactite Stalker is back. If you've seen my mono black version of this build, you saw that Stalactite Stalker was a pretty good card, especially when we were able to guarantee Descend every turn. Descend can come from Grief, it can come from Subtlety, it can come from Psychic Frog's discard, it can come from the Evoke on, I guess, well, Subtlety, Grief, and Null Drifter, another card we're playing in this. Troll of Khazad Doom on the Swamp Cycling is another one. Fetching with the any one of our fetch lands here. All of that to say that Stalactite Stalker is a very reliable, large source of damage, and we want to make sure that we use that in this deck. We are a Scam build, so we're running Subtlety, Grief, Not Dead After All, and Reanimate as ways to get all of those things back and reuse them. That is a pretty good thing for us. Another cool piece of tech that we're using is Victimize here. You get to choose 2 cards in a graveyard and sacrifice a creature that you control. It can be our Bowmasters, it can be our Psychic Frog, it can be our Stalactite Stalker. And if you do sacrifice a creature, you get to return the 2 chosen cards to the battlefield. This means that we get back a Grief or a Subtlety. It means that we can get back a Null Drifter, which has Annihilator 1, which is pretty wild. It's important that Victimize does not take life, whereas Reanimate does. So Reanimate is better for the Subtlety and Grief, but Victimize is better for the Null Drifter and Troll of Khazad Doom. Other than that, we are running 3 steps ahead here as the counterspell of choice. Now, I don't really know how I feel about this one. Obviously, it's pretty decent. We are playing Subtlety, which has Flash. We have Brazen Borrower with Flash, Orcish Bowmasters with Flash. This is an instant. We have mana things that we want to hold up on Stalactite Stalker. Waterlogged Teachings, a dual land that we're playing in this deck, is also an instant, so it kind of makes sense that we'd want to be holding up a lot of mana, so 3 steps ahead can potentially work in this deck. This one's nice because not only is it a counterspell, it's also something that can make another Grief or Subtlety or Null Drifter. It's a thing that can draw some cards. Should be a pretty decent thing to have in the deck. What I will do actually though is drop a couple of Brainstorms and drop a Troll, and then 1 final card. Either will be a land or maybe a Waterlogged Teachings here. That puts us, I believe, to 6, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 lands. Maybe I do want that 22nd. And we'll get rid of another Stalactite Stalker here to bring us down to 60 cards. And actually, now that I say that, I'm going to go down 2 Waterlogged Teachings, 1 more Stalactite Stalker, and then we will go with the 3rd Brainstorm. Just to make sure that we are at a 60 card deck and don't have any weird mana inefficiencies. But yeah, with those last little bit of changes coming in here at the end, this is Dimir Scam, which should be a very, very strong deck in the format. Null Drifter is not really seen so much as an evoke creature, since it doesn't have the pretty art that the Grief and Subtlety do, but this is a really, really crazy card to have out early. I think it is worth paying 7 life to reanimate on turn 1 if it's possible, because Annihilator 1 just takes your opponent's lands. And I've played Mono Green Elves against something like this that came out early, and it was back-breaking. So with that being said, this is the deck here. We do, like I mentioned, get to play with Waterlogged Teachings, one of the newer cards, the modal dual-face lands. And other than that, we are just in blue-black. So this is Dimir Scam. We're not really going so much into the hand hate that we would with other decks that run Shieldred, but we do run the 4 Bowmasters in this deck. And yeah, so that is the build here. Hopefully you guys are going to enjoy this one. If you enjoy the video, make sure to like and comment. Helps with the YouTube algorithm, and subscribe if you're new for videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Let's hop into round 1 and get some griefs and subtleties and null drifters onto the battlefield. Here we go. All right, here we go. We have the ability to both pitch grief and subtlety turn 1, and we'll be able to have a Orcish Bowmasters on turn 2, which I think is pretty nice. I think for the grief, I'll pitch the Waterlogged Teachings and then just Surveil with a Polluted Delta. Inspiring Vantage, sure. It'll be a DRC. Should I put that back in the hand with subtlety? I don't think I need to. The Bowmasters will take that out. We'll go Polluted Delta here, go ahead and fetch, looking at our top. Stalactite Stalker. Not necessarily good, not necessarily bad. We'll bin it. Let's go Grief, see if there's anything else to worry about. Alright, target opponent. We know they have Mana Tithe, we know Skewer the Critics and Lightning Helix. Alright, so I want to make sure that, A, that we don't die. B, that Mana Tithe doesn't get us. So we want to cast the Bowmasters on turn 2. And taking the Tithe, we are going to know that we're in danger of taking a lot of damage. Okay, so they're not attempting to turbo DRC here. Critics me, yep. That will just leave Lightning Helix. Oh, nice, we drew back a Bowmasters, that's perfect. And then we can even evoke the Null Drifter next. We're gonna pass. So they have instant sorcery in the graveyard. They'll need something else in order to make this work. I'm going to Bowmasters now. And they can Helix attempt to flip the DRC. It's not gonna happen though, they'll need a second spell. So get the DRC in. I think our Bowmasters gets Helixed. You actually get a face, interestingly enough. Okay. Maybe Skewer the Critics on the Bowmaster, sure. Brazen Borrower is kind of nice. I think I want to keep my life total high up, and we'll just go with another Bowmasters here. We'll start early and make sure that we get an extra point of damage. And we'll put them back to 20. Worst comes to worst, we have a Subtlety here. Alright, and we get to hit a little bit here. We're now out of range of 3 damage spells here. DRC comes back. We can just send that away with Brazen Borrower though. I'll move to my turn here. Not dead after all. This means that Subtlety can now come in. So Subtlety pitching Borrower, and then we have Not Dead After All. How do I feel about that? Well, I feel like I want to attack for 4. We will see if they decide to block it. They do not. So then I would want to hold Subtlety and Not Dead After All, and maybe I just hold on this Null Drifter. So if they play another creature spell, so either they're spending all their mana on Faithless Looting this turn, attacking with DRC. Yeah, maybe I do just do this Null Drifter business, or if I find another land, I can Not Dead After All the Null Drifter. Ooh, this is a tough decision. It's almost a really good spot to use Null Drifter in, honestly. I think I'm going to Subtlety here, so all this is flash, so I can do it on their end step. It's best if they decide to cast a creature spell here. I think they probably have something that is Spectacles. I think I go Subtlety here. Or actually, you know what? I can just Borrow this. Borrower is even better. I'm almost ready to hard cast the Subtlety. And that way I get to hold Null Drifter Not Dead After All. It will be DRC, sure. Alright, and I get to go to my turn. Sweet. Psychic Frog with Not Dead After All. I could give it a try. Could have pitched Subtlety with Not Dead After All too, though. I think we're okay. Okay, if they had damage, they could have blocked and traded. Looks like they will actually just Lightning Strike and go for the face. Sure. I can discard something and Psychic Frog can block. Sure. It is getting a little close here. Okay, not close enough. Opponent will concede here, and we will take round 1. Nice. Didn't get to cast Subtlety, but I'm sure we'll have plenty of time to do that later. We'll hop in round 2. Alright, round 2. Here we go. Not dead after all. Victimize is not bad. Victimize can find a troll, so maybe go Bowmasters, discard troll. Okay, I think I can see how this works. Let's go. Let's go Catacombs early. I want to find a fetch. Or, sorry, I want to find a Surveil. Polluted Delta for my 3rd land. Sure. Let's get rid of it. Okay, artifacts here. We see either Bowmasters or Troll. Let's do tapped Swamp Cycle Troll. Maybe Brainstorm. I will cycle the Troll here, setting up Victimize. Move my turn. Another Bowmasters. Bowmasters and not dead after all, or set up for having 4 mana with Victimize. Okay, I'll probably just do the Bowmasters then, and we'll Surveil here, looking for another creature to go to the graveyard. It'll be Mystic Sanctuary, which actually now could become a looping of Victimize. I think I keep this on top. Alright, we pass. Opponent's got 2 artifact lands. Will there be an Emery coming out? Let's see. No, we actually get to go to our turn here. So this is Orcish Bowmasters then. Let's try that. Do they have a counter spell? Oh, hello. Metallic Rebuke, you got it. That's fine. Now this is stuff for Victimize to do. We will go Brainstorm first, seeing we find a fetch land, then we'll go Bowmasters later. Grief is good. Grief is really good with not dead after all. Let's go. 1, 2 on top, since we'll end up drawing these. A little awkward that now I have to go like this, potentially exile Victimize. It's a little awkward. I think I'll just Grief and then scam with not dead after all. Okay. Evoke the Victimize for now. Victimize is nice though. I could go Bowmasters. Yeah, I'll get rid of the Bowmasters. We don't need it yet. Alright. Here we go. We target them. We submit 1. We not dead after all our Grief. And we stop holding full control. There we go. Alright, so what do we get to take? We see Kappa Cannoneer, Simulacrum Synthesizer is a problem. And then how do we make their next turn very annoying? We take away the 1 ring. And then now we know that Victimize is probably very good. We just need to find another creature. You know what? Check this out. Let's go putting Brainstorm on top, fine. Take action, please. And then in our graveyard, we have Troll and Orcish Bowmaster. So we go not dead after all on the Grief after we attack. They go to 16. We go not dead after all on Grief. We go Victimize, sacking a creature, getting these 2 back. Beautiful. Now that is powerful. I don't think they can do anything about this, right? They can just copy with Mycosynth Gardens, and I'm about to have 11, 12 damage on the battlefield with them at 15 life. Yeah, that seems like a win to me. Super, super strong there. This situation did not come out in any of my test games, but man, that is some power. Thank you to Victimize and Not Just Dead, or whatever the card is called. Not Dead After All. Pretty solid. Let's move into round 3 and go for another good one. All right, it's round 3. Let's go. We have Null Drifter, which needs 3 mana in order to really work. Subtlety can not pitch it, unfortunately. Stalactite Stalker and Victimize. I don't think this is a hand that we keep. We'll mulligan. Subtlety pitches to Brazen Borrower here and then gets reanimated, potentially. Flash Flying, 3/3 is not bad. Troll of Khazad-dûm on turn 2 is also really nice. Let's just do this. We'll have to get rid of a blue mana source, I think. All right, here we go. So Verdant Catacombs finds a shock land, discards Troll, then Flooded Strand can find a tapped land. This is fine. I think we just lose Reanimate here. They might follow this up with a Grief, we'll see. If they were to do that with a Grief, they'll have to take Reanimate in one of these two. Reanimate makes sense here. We will move to my turn. Stalactite Stalker actually will be a good one. Let's start here, get a fetch land. This immediately turns on our Stalactite Stalker. We pay 2 life here, go to 17, move to end step, say go. Alright, so we can now trigger this guy with Troll, with a Subtlety Pitch, with this Flooded Strand even. A lot of ways to make this work. Shores Engraved, Maddening Cacophony. Interesting. Alright. We find Grief here. Psychic Frog is now an option. Psychic Frog can get bigger if I get rid of something. I think I play the Flooded Strand. I'm interested in just cycling the Troll for now, I think. We're going to find an untapped source here. Watery Grave seems good. They're not being very aggressive. We'll surveil off the Flooded Strand. And I should have attacked. Whoops. So Mill is what we're playing. That's really interesting. Thoughtseize into Mill. Tasha's, you got it. Yeah, we know exactly what's going on here now. So what if we lose some cards? It's neither here nor there. We will move to our turn here. Let's get a Surveil. See if we find something good on top. Not that we want under City Sewers. Surveil 1, a Null Drifter would be good to draw, I suppose. Let's do that. Move to my turn. That triggers Stalactite Stalker, pay 2 of life, go Null Drifter, evoke. Draw 2. We find Polluted Delta Bowmasters, both are pretty nice. Let's attack. We'll end turn. Subtlety still held up. Stalactite Stalker getting bigger. Ashiok Dream Render is kind of annoying. We can put that on top, I guess, with Subtlety. Let's do that. Then I'll exile Psychic Frog because Brazen Borrower can take care of Ashiok. Put Ashiok on top or bottom. Let's see if they want to redraw it. Now this sets up next turn for Brazen Borrower plus Bowmasters, which is good. Alright, they put it on top, so they will want to activate it here. So I think I go Polluted Delta, then they're going to cast Ashiok and activate it. Yeah, I think I'm just going to Polluted Delta here. And turn on the Stalker. We can now put something on top. Would I like anything on top? I would like Not Dead After All. Or actually, you know what? Where is it? Reanimate. Yeah, we want Reanimate. We will put Reanimate back on top with Mystic Sanctuary. Reanimate, there it is. Okay, cool. Ashiok will be able to take my... Ooh, Archive Trap, brutal. Can I do anything about that? I can Brainstorm. I won't find anything to do with that. Okay, fine. Archive Trap will happen. We're going to get a lot of things exiled, unfortunately. But now we know that their next step is just Ashiok, so it is what it is. If I cast Bowmasters now, it doesn't really do anything, so we attack. They go to 9. We have a 5/5 on the board. Things are looking good. So I think they just play the Ashiok here. That's fine. It will basically be dead to 1 attack of my Stalactite Stalker. Oh, actually no, they're just dead though. Because I play Brazen Borrower here. And even with 12 cards in library, we are fine. Alright, move to my turn, play Brazen Borrower. That's 8 damage. With the Bowmasters, that is 9. They are dead. Brainstorm doesn't really matter. We'll just attack. Grief here could pitch for something, but we're just going to go into face. 1, 2. Attack. And here's an Orcus Bowmasters. Should be dead. We are fine even if they have Archive Trap. Cool. Target them. Should be game. They go Polluted Delta. What are we doing here? They're just going out on their own terms. That's fine. Alright, so that is round 3 done. Let's go into round 4 for another good one. Alright, here we go. This is round 4. Not Dead After All with Null Drifter is a thing. If I find 4 mana, that could be really good. Flooded Strand fetches for me. And then get Stalactite Stalker. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna keep this. Troll of Khazad-dûm here. We shock. And actually, you know what? We shock playing Stalactite Stalker first. Because then Troll is better. Mountain. Will Stalactite Stalker live? We will shock, or we will cycle here. They have a window to kill the Stalker. Let's get a Surveil land, but we won't use it yet. We're going to shock, hold Not Dead After All, and swing in for 2. Oh, I guess I didn't really need to do that, because I think I'm going to hold my Not Dead After All for the Null Drifter turn. Totally fine. They will cycle. Okay. We get in for 2. Nice. End turn. If Undercity Sewers puts down a non-land, this would be good. Or sorry, a permanent, that would be good. Or if we draw a permanent, that's fine. Chalice of the Void on 1. That's really unfortunate. Okay, so there goes Not Dead After All. It is what it is. We know that reanimation is not on the menu anymore. Chalice is a very good hit here. They're a little bit late on it. It will be Fury here, so Not Dead After All will get countered. That's unfortunate. I probably should have played that prior to anything happening here. It is what it is. Yep. And at least we'll just start playing towards any of our other things. I think actually this Bowmasters would be good. Yeah, we're going to take the Surveil here. Brainstorm is now counterable, so fine. We pass. 3 mana. Blood Moon. Alright, let's play a Bowmasters. And now we have mountains, unfortunately. This Blood Moon will be really tough. So we are on Prison here. Mono Red Prison. Alright, fine. Not Dead After All. We can't cast anything. We get another mountain here. We'll get in for 2. Alright, well, hopefully their top decks don't beat ours. We'll have to see. Soulless Jailer. Brutal. Graveyards can't enter. Can't cast non-creature spells from exile. Brutal. They, more importantly, have a good blocker. It's cool to see Prison actually attempted in this format. definitely hard to play given that we don't have a lot of soul lands. We do get to hit them for one and make our little guy a little bigger. Oh, it'll just have to be Soul's Jailer here. And we need to just find our one of blue and black land, unfortunately. Alright, so Subtlety can pitch, discarding the Psychic Frog. Nice. Sure. End turn. Draw. We do get to hit. Now we have a big army. Thinking that we might end up losing our creatures before that ends up being relevant, but you never know. Bone Crusher Giant, tough. This is cast as an instant, I believe. I'm sure that I can't target it. We will resolve. At least this thing became 4/4 before it was too late. Alright, another Fury coming in here. I think this is a good 2-for-1 for them, or for me, because I can't really cast the Psychic Frog. Alright, let's take the Fury. Alright. Fury again, sure. They will take out my creature here, and now this is where things get tough. They know they're drawing another Fury. If they have a land here, then it's bad. We draw. 3 steps ahead here, can't be cast. Yeah, it's looking like we might lose to the Blood Moon here. Sure. There's the Crusher, and here begins our long demise. Undercity Sewers, very sad. Just another island. Blood Moon definitely here to punish greedy mana bases like ours. I think at some point we just go ahead and concede here. We have a 2 in, or about a 2 to 4 in 43, not looking good. If we can get Null Drifter out, it could be good, but yeah, I think that we really just need to draw blue only, and then at that point, things don't really work. The 1 ring here, so the Still Alive. We die. Yeah, I think this might be close to a situation where we can just concede here. Opponent has 3 more attacks left. I think we might as well just let them play it out. I'm curious to see if there's any interesting additions to this deck. They know that we can't really play anything. They might be good to just play this Fury, I would say. But they might just be covering their bases, and we'll take a few more turns with Crusher. We'll see. Oh, Mogmob. Very cool. Mogmob again, sure. Definitely a card I didn't expect. Troll of Khazad Doom here. Finally, we can hit a swamp. One of our 2. And all we can do is play Not Dead after all. We are going to die. So very, very cool deck here from opponent. They are showing that you can actually play Prison in Timeless. That's really cool to see. Well put together deck here. If they want to show me any other cards, that would be cool, but I think we're just going to get hit to 0 here, and we will move on to the Island 5. Alright, here we go. This is the 5th round. We have Stalactite Stalker into Grief, which I think is pretty solid. I'll keep this. Polluted Delta will need the shock. Grief could even go for next turn, but I think if I can take them off of an early play, that's ideal. Pay 2 life, Stalker, Grief, pitching Waterlog Teachings. Alright, we'll redraw with Null Drifter, hopefully. Ruin Crab, Tasha's. Okay, so we're milling here. Spell Pierce is annoying. Can I kill a Ruin Crab? I'm not sure I can. Let's take the Ruin Crab for now, because that represents a lot over the course of the game. Stalactite Stalker gets bigger. We do have some damage output. Fatal Push kind of sucks, though. Goodbye, Stalactite Stalker. Is what it is. Let's put this in tapped. We have a Brainstorm to go. And then we can draw through it with Null Drifter. Brutal. Into Flooded Strand and or Polluted Delta. Yep, sure. Will they fetch the Polluted Delta or will they pass? They will, so we will get to Brainstorm without a Spell Pierce coming in. Nice. Two things into the library. One of them can be shuffled. Well, they will have Spell Pierce next turn, so I'll only be able to play a 1-drop. So I think I want it to be Stalactite Stalker. So maybe we just go Lock Thwain. We'll draw the Not Dead after all. They shock, they mill. That actually clears for me, which is nice. Subtlety doesn't really work here. We go Stalactite Stalker here, see if they'd like to Spell Pierce. Oh wait, Spell Pierce doesn't even hit that. We pass. We can evoke Null Drifter next turn. Tasha's comes down. Alright. Here it goes. Subtlety not in a very good spot right now. No, we need more grief. Alright. And let's survey our deck here. 1 grief, 1 Bowmasters. They exiled Bowmasters, victimize 1, 1 reanimate. Okay, all in all, not terrible. Flooded Strand. That was our last surveil. We have 3 more fetchables. That's good to know. Not Dead after all. Can't take it. It feels bad to surveil against this deck too. Alright, victimize. What does that get back? Gets back Null Drifter and Grief. Sweet. We attack for 1. Victimize. Grief Null Drifter or Grief Subtlety? Grief Null Drifter, yes. Alright, so this is big for us. Glimpse the Unthinkable. Bad for me. And now we're looking kind of good all of a sudden. Annihilator 1 could be big. They do mill me a bit. Can't cast the Lorien Revealed though, so we'll get an attack on the Null Drifter. That's sweet. Subtlety can pitch. We'll attack. Annihilator 1. What do they sack? Maybe the island? Okay, a Watery Grave. We'll do that. And I mean, they're dead in the air next turn, so I think I just sit pretty here. We can Subtlety another Ruin Crab. Little island cycle here, sure. And Mystic Sanctuary might not be enough. We'll find a Prismatic Vista, and it'll mill us for 3. Looks like we will survive with 14 cards left in deck here, and get to, with 11 cards left in deck here, excuse me. And we will be able to Annihilator to kill. Alright, cool. Well, looks like that's going to be good for us here. We'll move right to combat, swing in, Annihilator 1 trigger goes off, and we will take this round. That will bring us to the end of the deck tech here, so I hope you guys enjoyed. This was a pretty fun deck to play. It's cool to be able to use Null Drifter with Not Dead after all, even though that didn't get to happen. You know, that is a very powerful strategy, and do go for it in your own games. Speaking of which, if you'd like to check out the deck list, you can find it in the video description. Other than that, make sure to like and comment to help with the YouTube algorithm, and subscribe if you're new for videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That being said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.